Welcome, race fans, here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's the SNT National Series here in Atlanta as we go for the third race of the series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's sure to be a good one. A hot night under the lights here in Atlanta, sure to be a good one. A couple of shakeups here. Chase Schaffer is going in with a head of steam as he leads the points over Cole J. Wilson. Then Cameron Chandler and Braden Hunsinger with James Thurston in fifth. A top five, pretty close in points, only separated by about 23. So a close battle already in the first 2 weeks. No one really has that much of a lead. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. My name is Alexander Valderas. I will be your commentator for tonight's event. And tonight is sure to be a good one. As we welcome you all to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, we begin with gridding 134 laps here at an intermediate turned super speedway. Things are going to be good. Vinny Tigler on the pole, and then it goes down to, I believe that's Matthew C. White in second. Nolan Drake, Chase Schaffer with Erdman and Spencer J. Walt, Jordan Kuntz and James Thurston down there on row 5. Henry Kalhoff alongside the 96. Oh God, look at these names. I believe that's Cole J. Wilson Chandler and Rivera. And it goes down to the 78 of Hulls, the 56 of Trucker, and I can't read that. Oh well. And then it's Mason Moriarty and Connor Tripp, I think is his name. Matthew Weeks and who's that? Miller? Yeah. We go down. That's row 10. Kenneth Gorel. That's a name I recognize. Some of these names are new. I haven't seen these names before. And then it's Michael Deitch with Robinson alongside him. Wow. The number 5. Yeah, Bogensberger. What a name. And it's Combs and Blockwood with Bierce alongside. Hunsinger and Koch rounds out row 15. And these are the non-Qers. I believe that's actually Matthew Weeks. There's another Weeks. Xander Riccitti, Connor Isabel in there as well. Both the Sievert brothers at the back of the grid in row 19. As the field gets rolling here from the pace car on gridding, 134 laps here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Sure to be a fantastic evening of racing. Points battle again shaking up here quite a lot of movability within the points here. Chase Schaffer, who I believe qualified within the top 4, there he is in 4th on the outside lane, really looking to uphold his lead. James Thurston, the winner of last week's event at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and he qualified, I believe, 5th or 6th, so somewhere within the top 10. A good start, but a long race here tonight, and it's going to be even longer because of the super speedway aspect of this race. It's going to be a good one. Here from Atlanta, Georgia, as we get ready to go, the pace car in turns 3 and 4, getting ready to dive down pit road at any moment. Vinny Tigner, your pole sitter and front runner constantly in this league, both when I have broadcasted and when I've raced. It has been a good showing, and he's been a good league admin and manager to keep this league afloat, keep putting it on, and so far been a good couple of races this season. The pace car makes its dive down pit road as we get ready to take the green flag. The pace car goes down. The field approaches the restart zone as we get ready to wave the green. We are green here in Atlanta. And already it's looking to be a good battle. These two lanes have been formed, and they are ready to roll. White over Tigner and Schaffer in 3rd. Then it's Drake, Spencer Walt, and Erdman. That's your top 6 with James. And then Thurston there back in the top 10. He rounds off the 10th position there. That outside lane already starting to fall back a bit, so Chase not having much help on the top. It's Kalhoff and James to round out that end. Just about 5 cars on the top, though, and even though these lanes are somewhat even as they spread out more, this is going to be a challenge to keep that top lane afloat. However, the guys on the top here, riding on board with Henry Cowhoff, are known for keeping a good show, and they're known for being able to hold on to this outside lane. A lot of cuts already. He moves down to the bottom, and Chase Schaffer takes the lead in the 41 car. They're 3 wide, James Thurston up the middle. And this is proving to be a pretty aggressive start for some of these guys. So the 31 and the 4 already up at the top, starting to fall back as that third line early on really not showing to be that good of a line. Chase Schaffer leading the middle here as he goes for a block on the 88. And already this field trying to spread out. We see we've got kind of 2 packs already behind. I believe the 15th position is when we start getting that separation as Chase goes down to block the bottom. And James Thurston there looking to push the 88. Vinny Tigner in tow for the 41. Goes up to block that second lane again, and if he's not careful, he might try and go for a pass on the outside if he has the momentum. Pushes the 41. He maintains the lead, and a new most laps led here for Chase Schaffer as he's led 3 out of the 5. Vinny Tigner pushing a start to try and pass Chase Schaffer on the bottom, and looks like he won't have enough help to do it. Gets his nose out in front, but Chase Schaffer goes back down to block, and he'll maintain the lead going on to lap 6 of 134. Been a good start so far for a lot of these guys as he goes up to block the top again. He'll get that push from the 88, and James Thurston behind that 88 will continue to pack air on the back and try and push that line forward. Bit of a scramble here in the middle of the pack, the 54, and this is what I was talking about earlier. You see this blocking and you see this shift, a gap of the separation of the pack. Going back even a little bit further here in the middle of the pack, Mason Moriarty in the mix as well in the IORA car, the pink and purple machine, with the 67 on the side of the door. And now this pack here in the middle, once you start reeling back, the pack starts to get a little bit more chaotic, even if it does spread out. It's known Atlanta is known for generating a lot of individual battles, even if they are part of a larger pack. Now it seems they got their issues sorted out and they're a little bit closer than they were before, so the start is looking to be that great. But the pack seeming to get back together. Chase Schaffer falls back to second, and it looks like he's getting a push for the 96, and James Thurston will push him back out to the front, and Chase will lead that lap. As he goes now down, he'll stay with James as he trusts in him to push him and keep him out in front. He'll go down to block. And now they control both lanes. 2 Flopper Racing drivers controlling both these lanes as Chase Schaffer comes back up to block the 96, and he'll get another push. So hopefully he and James can work something out. One of the biggest things about Atlanta and about the Xfinity SuperSpeedway package is engine, water, and oil temperature. The Xfinity car is known for overheating pretty quickly on the super speedways, so Chase has to be careful with his blocks. If he mistimes them, then that means one of the 2 cars could get hotter than the other, and that could be an issue there for whichever line wants to make a charge. So giving James Thurston the clean air that he did see, he moves up a lane to give that grate in front on the front bumper a bit more air and a bit an ability to cool off just a few degrees in the corner. Because if you can do that, then that'll make it easier to cool down on the straight where you don't have to be right behind somebody. And now Chase, continuing to stay up top, is still leading this race, lap 10 of 134. The laps here go by so fast, and when they get in the pack, they go by even faster with these few up front. Done a good job so far to control the lanes here. Chase started 4th, has made his way up to 1st, and has so far been a dominant charge here, not really relinquishing the lead as he's been up front. Now he gives James that clean air as he blocks the bottom, try and give him time to cool down, probably communicating with the 96 and saying, hey, my temperatures are getting a little bit hot, give me a chance to breathe. And now I think by the time they get down the backstretch, if he is clear, which he's not, they're going to be side by side. Right now, James should have enough temperature to get back to pushing the 41 if given the chance. And here comes Mason Moriarty a bit up the pack. Started in the lower 15s and has now made his way up, almost cracking the top 10 on that outside lane. Just a couple cars behind James and Chase as he's making his way up through the pack as well. One of the first times he's been back on the service, he was a formerly very good plate racer and the owner of the IORA Racing Series League, right on board with Cameron Chandler in the 8 on the inside line, become a 94 Powerade car. And he was a pretty notable plate racer, been in a bit of an absence now, but he comes back to SNT to try and prove his prowess is still there on the plate tracks, and is proving to be so as he moves up now basically to the top 10. And now these battles here in the middle of the pack get a, oh no, and the 8 is going to turn the 94, and he's going to save it on the inside. No caution, we stay green. Lap 13 out of 134. A tenth of this race gone by, and things are shaking up. The 94 is going to lose the pack. He will have to trundle around at the back all by himself and is hoping for a caution in about the next 8 laps or so. Let's go ahead and get an instant replay of what happened there. And it just looks like got a little loose, got a little squirrely, checked up a bit in front of the 8, and he just wasn't ready for that kind of action. Good job to keep it off the wall and to save it. And that keeps us green and no caution. Cuts the pit road entrance square there, and hopefully doesn't have a penalty because of that. But Chase Schaffer back out to the race lead, blocking the 96 of James Thurston, them working together on that outside lane. But now it's up to Cole J. Wilson and White on that inside lane to try and improve on out from 2 teammates on the outside, both Lapa Racing teammates in the 41 and the 96, with the 67 of Moriarty coming up in tow. Bit of a battle here between the Monster teammates, the 8 and the 78, are going at it as well. They've got kind of a scuffle 3 wide, and they're going to sort it out. A bit of a squirreliness, and that might be a wreck. The 78 collects the 54. Jordan Kuntz in it as well. They're going to spin around, and that will be the first caution of the night. Oh, and more contact as the 90 plows into the 78 over the start-finish line. Here's a bit of a replay. I was talking about how they were getting a bit squirrely. The pack racing was getting a bit tight. Here they are 3 wide. Here's a better side view. The 54 with the 78. These are the guys that I believe started the bit of a contact. These cars, oh, the 91 gets a little loose. So does the 57. I think going to have a bit of a wiggle, and he's going to come up right in front of Jordan Kuntz. Nowhere all 3 of those guys could go. And it ends up being about a 4, 5, I think 6 car wreck. So the 90 slamming on the brakes, just nowhere to go. Couldn't get it turned down to the inside. And that's going to be pretty significant damage to the front right of the 90 there. And already with a first caution so far, one of the things some of the drivers were talking about pre-race is how unsettled the cars were. It's not as planted as, say, the Next Gen with the underbody and all the downforce that the Next Gen has. A bit more of that solid axle, and these simpler cars, it's a bit more of a challenge and a handful to drive. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge for these guys, is even though it would make sense that the cooler conditions of the night allow it to be a little bit more grippy than it would be hot during the day, still proves to be a bit of a handling challenge. Only 15 laps into the run, and one of these times later this race, we're definitely going to get a run longer than that. So we do have to wonder when we would start seeing handling become a real issue. We saw some of those guys getting loose and struggling to keep the race car underneath them already with 15 laps under their tires. Not many sets tonight. So I do wonder if it is going to be a real challenge. Chase Schaffer in second. He had the lead taken away from him by White, and I think the call is that they might pit here. So Chase Schaffer in to pit as well. James Thurston behind him with Kalhoff and a few others. The leaders elect to stay out, and in comes the rest of the field. Now, this caution gives a chance for heat cycles in the tires to cool down, not be as hot, and hopefully have a little bit more grip when they get back on the track. I assume this to be a fuel-only stop, and clearly the leaders saying that they can stay out and hopefully opting to go on a different strategy. But in they come to pit road. Chase Schaffer leading with James Thurston behind him. And as we get a better view, we're going to see here what they're going to take as they come into their pit stall. Now, focusing on the rest of the field as well, I think it's going to be quite close between these guys. The leaders choosing to stay out and not having a bunch. You'll see if the cars do go up. Yes, so Chase Schaffer does take right side tires, and so will a couple other people. Oh, they're taking 4. So the 41 and the 96 taking 4 tires, others electing to take none. As they take only fuel, they'll lose them a couple spots, but we'll see. I think, personally, it's a bit early to take a set of tires only 15 laps into a 134 lap race. I think that's a bit of a stretch, really. We could have gone probably a little bit further than that, knowing the base of most races is about maybe 3 or 4 tire sets. That would make it that you'd have to go at least 33 laps a set plus the ones you started on. So if it was 5, that would make it about 26 laps or so. So they're cutting it a little early than I would have thought. It's round 3 of the S&T Series season here at Atlanta at EchoPark Speedway. Drivers lining up behind the pace cars. Lights soon to go out, I believe, once they cross the line this time. A couple more people deciding to go down pit road, so I might be wrong as we cross the line now. And pace car lights do go out. 1 lap to go before we go back racing again. And it's a good mix of pit strategy here. The top 2 definitely did not come down pit road. Actually, a few more did not come down pit road. Top 6 ended up staying out. Leaders definitely, and a few of the guys behind those who stayed out only took fuel. I believe the first, let's see, where did Chase end up? 18th. So the first 6 stayed out, and I believe the first car on 4 is Chase Schaffer, so everyone in front, that would be Lockwood, Spencer Waltz, James McKinney, Kalhoff, Kuntz, Koch, and Ehrman, I believe as well Rivera, they all took either 2 tires, no tires, or fuel. So it is a bit of an interesting change in strategy. Now, 4 tires is obviously going to be better than 2 in most cases, especially here with how the handling is turning out to be. I think those 4 tires will turn out to be a pretty good call in the sense of having a grip advantage, but however long that they plan for this race to go green is certainly interesting. So as we get closer and closer to about, I believe, 1/4 of the way done with the race, the pace car is going to make its dive down pit road, and it's all on to Cole J. Wilson, the 88, to lead us back to the green flag. And already a good start for the 88 of White as he makes his lead apparent. Bit of a shuffling around on that outside lane there. We saw that they didn't get as good of a jump, so they're starting to fall behind a little bit as now Cole J. Wilson starts to push the 88 now as the packs start to get a little bit more spread out than where they were before, and that is to be expected on the tire strategy. Now, the first 5 all single file, trying to make those multiple lanes work. And up through the field so far, Chase Schaffer and James Thurston already up about 9 spots. Incredible off of just 2 laps, going from 18th to 9th with 41 on those 4 tires. He's really heating and cooking up right now with the 67 and 96 in tow of Mason Moriarty and James Thurston. All 3 Flopper Racing teammates starting to make moves throughout this field. And the 94 making moves as well. The 96 at James Thurston we see here making a pass on the outside of the 94. Those 4 tires proving to be quite a good option for grip as they'll go around the outside and slot in behind the 67. Ooh, bit of squirreliness with the 91. He got loose earlier, and I believe he might be one of the ones to take 2
yellow.
or no tires. Oh, we've got a spin across the front strip, smoke, and that will be another caution out. And that will be Chase Schaffer, the one to bring out the caution. as he slides. So after making up all that time, going from 18th to about 7th, he'll have to do all that work again. And now his tires will be a little more unhappy with where they were before. So, unless... No. I believe they're waiting for the pace car. As we get a replay of what happened, it just... a little bit of contact, maybe we get squirrely. The 41, oh, he might have eclipsed the pit road line there and may have gotten a penalty. I think it might have been close. Let's get another look. Oh, and the 56 just comes down onto the door of the 41, gets him squirrely. And I just don't think he was ready for that. I think he was cutting it a bit close there and just didn't realize that he had a car inside. Unfortunate for the 41 of Chase Schaffer, had done so well to move up a little bit, and we're going to have another caution and another pit road cycle. Now, the leaders who did stay out at the original caution period last time, the last caution, now come into pit road. The 88, so does Cameron Chandler in the 8. The 22 comes in as well. I believe that's the 42 as well. The 94 comes in. So you have another group of pitties as this change in strategy already showing itself so early on in this race. And it's going to be the 56 of Drucker, the one who hit the door of Chase Schaffer, electing to stay out as well. A bit of a hand in the caution there, as he will be the one to lead the field to green. Jordan Kuntz behind him, followed by McKinney, Cal Hoff, Spencer Walt, Moriarty, Combs, Thurston Tigner, and Hunsinger, the ones to round out the top 10. So caution shakes up a little, but not as much. It just gave the opportunity for those other people to come down pit road as well. So we see the shakeup in pit strategy. We see often that at this bit of a shakeup and this differing of strategy is trying to offset usually one of your faster opponents. If you could find a way to get offset and off strategy from them and try and make your own strategy work a little bit better, it'll prove better for you in the long run to be off cycle from one of your opponents. It'll give you a better opportunity to either overcut or undercut your opponents and try and maneuver around them using some speed or some fuel saving. As the lights are out on the pace car, 1 lap to go before we go back green again for the second restart of tonight's event on lap 25. We'll go green to cross to lap 26. And the 67 and the 96 two flopper racing teammates Moriarty and Thurston lined up, going to be 3rd and 4th on that outside lane. And they're lining up 6th and 8th in position. So a bit of some teamwork going on there as they're going to try and push their way to the front. Kuntz leads the outside lane alongside the 56 of Drucker. So interesting to see what these two do with the 84 and a couple names we haven't seen up here so far, getting a chance to be at the front because of those cautions. The 63 of Henry Kalhoff so far doing a good performance. He's 11th in points. So a good points finish here tonight within the top 5 would boost him up quite a bit within the points. He trails Chase Schaffer, I believe, what looks to be about 52 points. So a good points finish tonight would probably move him up about 3 spots or so. Would move him into the top 10 and getting himself ready and set up for a good deeper run into the season. Space car moves down pit road and get ready to go green once again here from Atlanta, and it's going to be Drucker and Kuntz to lead us out in the field. Closer than they were that last restart. That last restart, we saw the top 5 already moving off the single file line. This time, it's gridlock. These two lanes have formed up off, and they have not given up just yet. Already we see a good chunk of position. Shaffer moving across from the restart again. A damage being like, oh, we have a turn into turn 1. We have a car being turned into the outside wall.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
The pack gets quite split up, and that will be another restart and another caution. And just as we move to that turn 1 cam, we saw that one of the cars got turned into the outside wall. Here's a better look of it here. Going into turn 1, I believe, the 88 sides along. Oh, this is coming out of 4. Coming out of 4, we see already 3-4 wide on the front stretch, getting pretty tight and close. So, just gets a little bit loose, swings the rear end, and that will be the 30. He goes around, gets a couple people involved, but mainly just, I believe, maybe a self-spin. But we were talking about the handling earlier from a couple of pit stops. It's now, he received a bit of a bump by the 22 and just unable to correct it after getting that bump. Going into 1, he just slides now, and he finds himself down pit road. So, unfortunate. Caution is back out again. And, you know, while we're out under caution, let's get a bit of a word here from our leader, Jordan Kuntz. Jordan, welcome to the FTN broadcast booth. You find yourself in the lead, started 7th with a low of 27th, and you've clawed your way back to first, our third caution of the night. How do you think the race has gone so far?
I think the race for me has gone really well, considering that I'm leading at a super speedway style track. Usually this is not the case for me. I'm normally in the back waiting, but yeah, different scene for me mid-race, different view. I just hope to be able to hold it, not get caught up in a wreck again like I did around lap 15, and just stay clean till the end, keep it smooth, and I think a win is very much on the cards.
Well, I think so, and one of the things we've seen so far just within these first 30 laps or so is how well you're able to move around. I think there's been a lot of position changes. There's been people to come from the back to the front multiple times already within these 30 laps. So even if you were to get sent to the back, what do you think your chances are of being able to move back up through the field?
Well, I think I'm looking at like Chase Schaefer. He managed to go from like 25th to the top 5 in like 2 laps and a restart not too long ago. So I think in the right conditions, it's easy to move from the back to the front. Might be a lot very different whenever everyone starts being a lot more aggressive towards the end of the race. But I just hope I'm never in that position that I'm in the back late on in the race and have to charge my way through the field. I hope to stay somewhere in the top 10 the entire race and just manage it from there.
2 out of the 3 cautions we've seen tonight have come from what seemed to be handling issues. A lot of driver reports from pre-race was that the car wasn't as settled. It was a bit more free in the rear and harder to keep a hold of. As we get on different tire strategies and such, how do you think this handling will be affected, and how do you think it will affect the racing as we go on forward?
I mean, I think as long as you keep the tires in check, don't really, you kind of can know the limits of them. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to manage. Like the one wreck I was caught up earlier was a part of cars getting loose into the corners. Just knowing kind of where it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and trying to be able to predict it can help out a lot. So just need to stay ahead of the tire, maybe the tire heat and tire fall off that could happen, and make sure I don't become one of those.
Well, all right. Thank you so much, Jordan. All best of luck to you, and we'll be seeing you when we go green.
Thank you.
Our leader, the 99 of Jordan Kuntz, speaking some wisdom here as he tells about his story so far in this race. 30 of 134 here in Atlanta, round 3 of the S&T Series season so far. It's already proving to be quite the exciting race. A lot of racing action and a couple cautions so far, some handling issues, and a lot more racing to come here in the next coming laps or so. So we're looking to be a good way of the rest of the race so far. I think we've seen a lot of racing action. We've seen a lot of wrecking action in some cases. The handling being the main culprit of that. So We'll be on to see what happens next as the pace car going to make its dive down pit road. We get ready to make our 4th restart of the night. It's Drucker and Kuntz as it was the restart before, about 3 to 5 laps under caution as we take the green flag and get ready to go. And so already we see the racing action 3 wide for the race lead between Kuntz, McKinney, and now Kalhoff as that gets split back a little bit. You know, a bit of a blink that we have there. The 67 and the 96 of James Thurston in the middle of that pack. 3 wide as well. 3 wide for about 2 rows. Oh, and we've got more trouble for the 41 as well. Chase Schaffer in the mix as well. Gets pushed down all the way to the bottom. And we stay green, it looks like. No caution just yet as they start to shuffle around, and I think that was more aggressiveness with the handling issues that we've seen tonight. A bit of a looseness behavior. So no caution yet. We stay green, and Chase Schaffer somehow able to save it and get back up immediately. Oh, this is a replay as Chase Schaffer gets bumped, doored by the 4. He'll slide back up, and again, he will have to claw those positions back as he falls back about another 10 spots or so. We get another replay here of the incident, riding on board with the 4. The helicopter view here, and let's see, just pushes down, goes up a lane, comes back down a lane. Cuts it a little bit close, slow-mo to get a better view here. Chase pushes up at the time he goes a bit down, and they get connected and start to get more and more jammed together. And I think that's about a 50-50. Good save, though, by Chase to not cause under caution and to be back here in the field as well. We'll have to claw up the way through again. Kuntz falls down to 4th as the 96 and the 67 of Moriarty and Thurston force their way up through the field, gaining about 3 spots each of them as they try and make an attempt to lead that outside line. Right now, it's McKinney and Kalhoff, your 2 line leaders so far. Lap 35 at 1:34 for these guys up front. Now, it's really imperative that these 2 stay together, and like I mentioned way at the beginning of the race, that these temperatures stay down. As the field gets more and more compact together, it becomes harder and harder to save temperature. And usually, it wouldn't be that much of an issue to save temp. It's really only with the Xfinity package that you have to worry about temperature. Because of the way that the nose and the grill is and how the tape works, you have to really be on it. Those 2 gauges, you can't blink red for long, and you have to be aware and stay in constant communications. A warmish 80-degree day, 83 track temp here in Atlanta, Georgia, with 1 mile-per-hour winds, so wind not really being a factor here. The track temp, pretty cool for the most part, and I wonder if that it's just playing into the hands of the tire issues that we've seen. Chase Schaffer going 3 wide there in the back, trying to make that 3rd line work, and it seems like he is already side by side again with the man that caused him to slide back the 4 car. And within just about 3 or 4 laps or so, Chase Schaffer has already made his way back up through the field and is making that 3rd line work. Pretty incredible stuff here. All things considered now, as he still stays side by side with the 4. He's obviously forcing Chase up there. He doesn't want him to go down in the 2nd line. And that might cost him now as he's side by side with the 56. And obviously he's back up now with his teammates in the 96 and the 67. They're going to work a bit together, wondering if Chase is going to slide back a bit and get behind the 96 or stay side by side. He looks to elect to still be side by side, trying to probably look for a gap as the 4 scrapes the outside wall. That will split up that pack as well. So Chase trying to get in line with his teammates, will slot down in line and now slide back down to the bottom behind Kuntz as they stay 3 wide, 2 rows behind them. And Chase Schaffer has just but 1 car in front of him from being... Oh, and we have another caution. I believe a caution further back in the field. Getting a look at Matthew Weeks here as everyone seems to be okay. I don't see a lot of smoke So it may just be probably a one-car spin. Oh, and there's the caution. Get a better replay of it. Oh, this was definitely more than a one-car spin. 2-3 in the wall. Oof, and lucky to not get anyone else involved. Good avoidance skills by the rest of those guys in the pack. Let's get a view here of the people behind to see what they saw. Riding on board with Matthew Weeks to see what he sees. Back it down, back it down. And a bit of a good avoidance there from the 11 to Matthew Weeks to try and stay out of trouble's way. And so about a 3 or 4 car incident will bring the caution back out with 95 laps to go. Here's the front stretch cam. And you can just see, yeah, about 3-4 cars involved. Slides down. Oof! Oh, what a lucky blink there. Lucky blink there to get him away from that incident. 4-car incident brings the caution back out again. Couple takers down pit road. I believe that's Bucker down pit road. I believe that would be correct. Yes, he and a few others now. About 6 to 9 down pit road as well. And a few of the guys, probably 4 the guys who were in that caution, the 4 cars down, now down pit road. And your newest leader, the 67th of Mason Moriarty, with Kalhoff, Thurston, Kuntz, McKinney, and Schaffer, your top 6. And then it's Spencer, Walt, Tigner, Hunsinger, and the other James in the top 10. So proving to be a really competitive race and a lot of shaking about right now. And while we're under caution, it is March for those of you in the United States. And knowing with that comes the end of the college basketball regular season. A bit of sports updates here. 85-85 tied game with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third overtime against Texas Tech and LSU. And this would about wrap up the, I believe, part of the SEC regular season. And University of North Carolina against Duke as they fall behind 20 points with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second. 10-2 run for Duke in the last 3 minutes. So really mounting a charge over the Tar Heels. And it's USM versus Appalachian State. And there, USM is up by 13 points on ESPN+. And a couple of these schools really trying to fight for a chance for better seeding in the individual conference championship bracket and then eventually the March Madness bracket. So a couple of schools now fighting for those last chances. One of the best to look out for so far is probably going to be the 85-85 game against A&M and Louisiana. It's a third overtime. One of the first I've seen so far this season, and defense has just been the name of the game in these last few overtimes. Turnover, lost ball, a steal, a turnover off of a bad pass, another steal, and a missed lead-taking steal layup by, let's see who this is, by Rylan Griffin of the Aggies. So the score stays 85-85 with 3:58 left in the third overtime. And that is probably the closest game on tonight, and that's on the SEC network. So good luck trying to watch that if you don't have cable or one of the special streaming services right now. But as we enter turns 3 and 4, we get ready to go back green here in Atlanta with Mason Moriarty and Kalhoff, your leaders, getting ready to lead the field back to green. Pace car going to round out of turn 4, and for, I believe, the 6th restart of tonight, we head to the EchoPark restart zone, and we are green again here from EchoPark Speedway. Good charge, 67 of Mason Moriarty getting aggressive, blocking that outside lane. That block couldn't work in time. He'll be side by side with the 96. No chance to get down, and he'll have to stay as that leader of the second lane. So those two Flopper Racing teammates getting split up, and that might pose an issue, as the 84 of McKinney will probably try and get aggressive here if he can find a way in front of Moriarty. Now back to the right rear of the 84 as he tries to climb up back to the 96 in the lead. But the 84 of McKinney will try and get back to the bumper of the 96 and keep that from happening. It's Chase Schaffer, Kuntz, and Mason Moriarty all leading on that outside lane and trying to prove a charge. Chase now making an aggressive three-wide move up the middle to try and make something work. He's been one of the most aggressive drivers tonight. Has involved himself in a couple of incidents, though a couple of them not really his fault. So he will be right behind the team in the 67 of Mason Moriarty, and will try and push him clear of the 96 of James Thurston. Those two managing those lines right now. We got a car in the apron back there, and he will merge onto the track safely. No caution. Lap 45 to 46 here in Atlanta, Georgia, as right now the leader is Mason Moriarty of the 96 of James Thurston. He is clear of the 41. He will try and get clear of the 96, but a good run into turns 1 and 2, fighting on board with Cole J. Wilson in the 22 behind the view of the 41 at Chase Schaffer. It's been really impressive, the run that we've seen from Chase tonight. And Kuntz was talking about it earlier. He's been one of the more aggressive guys tonight. He's been able to move up from the field from setback after setback. So clearly that 41 Ford Mustang has a lot of speed. We got a car coming out of pit road. What a shot. I believe that's the 75. He will be obviously about a lap down or so. Apologies if you hear any thunder. We've got side here in the Houston area. But the 96 of James Thurston. Oh, and another caution comes out again. It's the 7th caution tonight, and it's only lap 47. So we try to get a view here of what happened. So far, our replay booth not seeing anything, so maybe this is a call by the admins. They typically don't do this, but we'll wait to see if we have anything. Could be, again, a single car spin, simple caution, so. So unfortunately, we actually don't know what caused the caution to come out. So unfortunately, not able to show you a replay of anything, but I guess the caution is called. Okay. So as the field slows, they wait for the pace car to make its lap around and pass everybody. So, odd. That is a real oddity. I haven't seen that really at all. So, caution is out. No clear cause. But we're back under the yellow flag again. And, it's interesting. We may have what caused the caution. We'll get a look here. Maybe a bit of a trigger finger happy on the old caution button. It is admin cautions. I think it's iRacing cautions. Let's see. No, the caution just kind of comes out. Everyone's on the backstretch by that point. And a couple people filing down pit road. And this is your live view again. So, no, caution comes out for a mysterious reason. Actually, I know a way we can find out. Let's go ahead and talk to Jordan Kuntz and see if we can get any clarification on that. Jordan, I drag you back here in the booth. Could you give us some insight of what happened and why the caution has come out again?
No, hold on 1 second. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, we were hoping to see if you had anything as to why the caution had come out again, because we can't find a cause. So
from what I've heard from my teammate John, it sounds like it was like last place wrecking. So I don't know if that's the case.
So probably just a single car spin, so nothing really much to show. Thank you so much for your insight.
You're welcome.
So 99 Jordan Kuntz, admin in the league, and so we tried to get a bit more of information for you viewers at home of why the caution had come out, and seemed to be just a single car spin, probably for last. So, unfortunately, to the guy who did spin, you may not get TV time because you weren't in a prominent position to be shown on the broadcast. But caution is back out again here in Atlanta, Georgia. I believe after the pace car crosses the line, but we'll be going to 1 to go. Yes, indeed, the lights are out on the pace car. 1 lap to go before we go green here again. And let's see, taking another look. And since we're under caution again, it's 90-87. Texas A&M Aggies lead by 3 points over LSU with 2:02 remaining in the third. Oh, and as I say that, LSU scores a quick layup. And that is scored by Robert Miller III. Be 90-89 with minute 42 left in the third overtime. This game is going down to the wire between these two SEC juggernauts. It's going to be a pretty good game from the both of them. Let's take a look. See, before we go green, SEC men's basketball conference standing. So, believes Rujun Koch is the one who caused the caution. We have a bit of an lead on that as the pace car going to make its dive down pit road, cutting the nose off the 67 of Mason Moriarty. He will be our leader and the one to take us to green in the EchoPark restart zone. It's a really late restart there, but we are green again here in Atlanta for the 8th restart of tonight. Ooh. Riding on board with Bradley Robinson as we come around to complete the first lap after the restart. Chase Schaffer now takes the lead with Cole J. Wilson in tow behind, then Mason Moriarty, Vinny Tigner, and James Thurston for top 5. And a bit of a shake-up so far. We've seen Chase Schaffer getting back to the lead. He was in it way about 30 laps ago before a couple of incidents had slowed his return to the front and led him to be in the back and having to fight his way to get back to the race lead. Coming across to be lap 53 out of 134, so slowly approaching that halfway point in this matchup here at Atlanta. So far, a good race out front so far, and you can just see how even a couple laps after this restart, how packed this field really is. Vinny Tigner started on pole and now is back up to 4th after getting shuffled down to 22nd. Quite a low, but as we've been able to see, a lot of movability here tonight, and being able to move around on track proves to be one of the strong skill sets, as all 3 flopper racing drivers are lined up on the outside, and that's a dangerous trio to have working together. Chase Schaffer, the leader, the most aggressive driver, and one of the more experienced plate drivers on the service. Mason Moriarty behind him as well, and then just such a quick driver in James Thurston, last week's winner at New Hampshire now, and 3rd in that outside lane, and these 3 are working together, and they're probably going to put on quite a good show. His low was also quite low, getting shuffled down to 20th during pit stops, and started 9th, has been able to work his way up through the field, is currently in the top 5, and was first 1 point. So you see him as he claws his way up through the field, and these 3 just getting more and more aggressive. It has to be a good push here from Moriarty to get Chase to clear, and yes, he will, and that gives Moriarty a chance to cool his nose and get those temps down. And Chase will probably stay on the bumper of Cole J. Wilson a little bit more. He goes up, and he'll block him down to the apron. He's still close, and he is clear. And now the 67 and the 41 control those lanes. This is probably going to be a bit closer to the cars smack the outside wall. Oh no, and that is a huge crash down the back.
Yellow flag.
Oh, and that is certainly going to be another caution as the 79 we see hitting the outside wall there. That was easily a 5 to 6 car pileup right there that we saw. Just as the camera panned away, so a big crash there down the back. So we look to get a better view of what happened. So into the outside wall. Oh wow! And the field just flies apart. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to say about 8 cars, and again the handling strikes again. We see that the car, it builds loose, it's hard to handle, and it's difficult for some of these drivers to keep the car underneath. Here's a view of the back half of the pack when they saw a bit of checking up. 4 checks up way too hard, gets into the back of the 1. The 51 gets involved, I believe it was all the 56 involved, 42 involved, the 79 involved as well. So I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3 already there, and then it'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think 10 there, just at, ooh, what a miss. So 9 to 10 cars involved in that. I think that's the biggest wreck we've had tonight. And so that is one of the biggest crashes we've had. Lap 58 out of 134. And a bit more information. Again, under caution, as the ones who were involved in that crash, again, come down pit road. Not a lot of shuffles we've seen so far up at the top. As the top 3 is still the top 3 Flopper Racing teammates. Going back to what I was saying during the last caution, it's with 6.5 seconds left, LSU has taken a timeout, and it's 94-91. Aggies lead by 3. And if somehow LSU was to tie this game and force a 4th overtime, which would be absurd, they are currently ranked last in the SEC conference with just 3-14 in conference play. So this would be a major upset over the 6th in conference Texas A&M Aggies, 20-10 record. So 5 more wins than LSU, 10-7 in conference play. So while it's not the biggest upset we could see leading into the individual conference championship brackets, this is and would be quite one of the bigger ones that we could see. One of 2 free throws made by, let's see, who is this? This is Ali Diba by Texas A&M Aggies. He seems to have transferred from schools here, so a pickup by A&M over the off-season. Caution lights are out, and it is going to be 1 lap to go before we go green again for the 9th restart. Here tonight in Atlanta, it is lap 59 of 134 here. A good chunk of the race to go here. And let's see, a bit of an update on some of the field running order. Fast repairs used so far for Chandler, Clarino, and LaPlante, I think. Hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. Hulls and Meeks, and basically P29 on back. So a lot of fast repairs being used so far, and only 1 at the disposal of these drivers. So you really have to decide when you are going to use it and when you're going to use it well. So it is pretty important, timing of which you take that, and the timing obviously of the tires and such. So some of these guys still out front. Flopper Racing teammates 1, 2, and 3. And as Mason is in first, the fastest time, a 30.424, fastest speed of about 180 miles an hour. So we're pushing about cup speed now with some of these guys. So we get ready to go green again in the EchoPark restart zone. The 67, Mason Moriarty takes us to green. And again, off this restart, this pack a lot closer than it was before. That one restart proving to maybe just be a fluke of how spread out the field can be. The 67 and the 96 lose the tail. And they push on the inside line. Coming across the line. Mason will, oh no, give the lead lap to Chase Schaffer on the outside, with Cole J. Wilson pushing behind him. And 3 rows back, 3 wide there as well. I believe that's, well, that was 3 wide between Chip and Kenny. As they now fall back again to 2 by 2. So far is the rest of the field. And so again, that wreck really took out a lot of people. The field has shrunk down quite a bit. So by that logic, you would assume that it would be a little bit easier to get some more laps run down. But as we've seen already, anything can happen at Atlanta so far. So pack being a bit squirrely on from 15th back. Chase Schaffer cuts down in front of the 67 of Mason Moriarty, and now all 3 Floppa Racing teammates in one line again. And it's now up to Cole J. Wilson and Jordan Coates. So those guys will try and make a pass work, and that is an aggressive move by Chase Schaffer. The blocks that he has been able to put on, and he gets a little squirrely, he gets a little bit loose, and that is going to force 3, almost 4 wide. It's going to be 3 wide between the 84, the 22, and the 99. They're all going to barely make it out alive. A car pops the wall, and that is the 31 of Rick Spencer Walt. And he is going to fall back, but no caution. We stay green. Able to pop the wall and fall back in line. Mason Moriarty back to the race lead, receiving a bit of a bump. But Chase has to be careful pushing on that right or left rear. You get a little bit too close to any of those sides of the bumper, it becomes very easy to get the car in front of you that you're pushing very squirrely. And very easy to try and, or almost turn them. So a lot of confidence there in Moriarty to have Schaffer push him like that. A bit of an aggressive and dangerous push, but it holds, and he's able to hold on to the race lead. James Thurston in that row below. Mason will go down and block, and that has given James enough time to get that grill a little cooler and those temps to fall, so it'll be a little bit easier to hold off the charge from the cars behind. As we're still out front right now, the 41 of Chase Schaffer, the 67 of Moriarty, those two leading and controlling both of these lanes almost to perfection. As you can see, the timing of which they come off of blocks. Ooh, a bit squirrely there by the 84 of McKinney, as he will fall back in line. And it'll give Chase Schaffer time to come back down in front of the 67. And the 22 gets a chance to breathe. He'll slide back up and then fall back down on line. 28 cars still on the lead lap, and I believe 30 running overall. So a bit of an update there. Quite a bit of cars taken out so far already in the one of numerous cautions that we've had this race so far. Just 68 laps to go here in Atlanta, Georgia, and what a race it has been so far. We've seen the likes of Schaffer come back through the field from being sent back due to just some incidents that he got caught up in, and now look, clean car back at the front of the field. And this has been just such a good watch to see the aggressiveness pay off and being able to go from a huge crash and a huge incident behind in turn 2, and that's going to be another 10 cars. Oh my goodness. I was too busy yapping, and I look behind at the top right of the screen, and there is an absolutely huge crash. The 94 of CJ Erdman. He's not taking his fast repair. He's in luck, but if he has, those two cars might be done for the night. Immense crab walking. And no motor there, possibly. I believe his motor's blown. So he's just rolling it out to see how far he can get. Massive incident behind a huge crash. Just a violent one for the 94. Let's take a look take it back and take a look. This has happened pretty close to the leaders. So the 88 gets into the side of the 31. The 94, just crosses up a little bit, washes up the track about a lane and a half, and then gets tagged, starts to spin, tags Kalhoff, and is lucky that didn't cause anything else. Slams into the wall, collects the 31, the 37, the 88, the 4, the 57, the 54, the 31, the 94. Man, this is easily the biggest crash we've seen tonight, and a hard hit for the 94. Immediately into the wall, and is hit, I think, 2 or 3 more times after the fact. So a large crash to bring up the rear end of the field, and this will thin out the field even more, because I believe some of these people involved have already taken their fast repair. And if they have, then this might be it. And they might have to go back to the hauler. Finally, the leaders are back down pit road for fuel and tires. Schaffer is down pit road along with Cole J. Wilson, the 67 of Mason Moriarty there, Jordan Kuntz, and Vinny Tigner, as well as Kalhoff, and a mix of other drivers as well. Henry Kalhoff included as that as well. Michael Deitch in 9th place moves up Kuntz ahead of the 17. Then it's Thurston, McKinney, Hunsinger, Moriarty, Wilson, Miller, and then Schaffer back out to assume the race lead. So a good pit stop there by the 41 crew. And the 79 Miller, he will move all the way up to second. The likes of Cole J. Wilson, Moriarty, and Hunsinger in the top 5. So 79, if you recall, involved in a caution about 15 laps ago. So already proving and shaking up to be quite an interesting comeback if he can find his way up here. A low of 34th, and his new high after crossing the line will be second. So he started 20th and has obviously moved down quite a fair bit. So I believe he stayed out by that logic. So choose cone as the lights go out on the pace car, and it's still saying his high is 13th. That will eventually get updated. He is second. It is updated. He is second. And what an impressive turnaround for the 79, involved in a caution just 15 laps ago, and is now second place. Now, I believe this is purely off of strategy, as I believe he stayed out. Taking a look at the 40 down pit road as well. So, again, we've seen strategy work out in so many different ways. It has truly been a wonder about how we've seen these guys be able to be this aggressive, be able to make these moves, and stuff like that. It's been a pretty impressive race from all accounts, really. So I'm Alexander Valdez on your call tonight here for S&T at Atlanta, as we are going to go to 63 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line. Your leader, the 41 of Chase Schaffer. Quickly before we go green, the final for the LSU Aggies game is 94-91. Aggies take a 3-point win. As the pace car goes down into pit road, we now get ready to set off back green again to the EchoPark restart zone, and Chase Schaffer in the 41 to take us to green for the 10th restart here in Atlanta. And a good jump so far from the 41, way big lead. So I'm guessing a bit of a communication issue, unless that's on purpose with the 67, because I know for a fact that the 79 is going to go up. Oh, and a risky block by Chase. He wouldn't go back down again. That would be just way too risky. So he will be up with the 67. Will he stay? Oh, and he's going to leave Mason out to dry. As now the 71, will he be able to take the... Oh, and a huge crash involving the rest of the field. The 21 involved, the 22 involved, the 67, 96, 31, 42, 94, the 84 involved as well. And that was everyone behind third place. And another caution out again here in Atlanta. Let's take a look. So I was talking about the aggressive moves by Chase Schaffer, and this... oh my God, that happened so fast. We might have to slow that down to get a better look overhead with the chopper view to really get a best look at what happens here. So this is down the back, off of the restart. There's the aggressive block by Schaffer, and then it splits 3 wide. Cole J. Wilson up the middle. Here's where we really start to notice something happen. So slow it down here, and here is where it all starts to unfold. So James Thurston on the bottom there, Cole J. Wilson. Oh, and is tagged by the 84. And that simultaneously hits the 22, the 67, and the 96 as well. So Kuntz involved again in another incident. Oh, and he's going to nastily hit the wall on the inside. Here's on board with James Thurston. Just gets turned into the outside wall. If we can take a look. Oh, gets some airtime too. Look at the 99. On the left-hand side of your screen. Oh, and another big hit to the 51. Man, big licks here in this crash. And immediately after we had just gotten a restart over the last caution. Just, oh, what a wreck. We've only seen a couple big wrecks tonight, and this is probably going to be one of the biggest. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6. 6, 7, 8 cars involved in this. Riding on board with Cole J. Wilson down the back. There's the block again by Schaffer. Gets into the back end of the 79. This splits him 3 wides. He's currently in the middle. Hunsinger down below. Let's see. A little bit loose, a little bit loose, a little bit loose. He comes down, gets tagged by James, files, and then just crashes into the rest of these guys. Now, a lot of fast repairs have been taken so far, but I know for a fact that Moriarty and Thurston both have their fast repairs still. They really haven't been involved in anything, as we ride on board with Schaffer, who's in the second position, it looks to be. Yes. Second place behind Miller, Hunsinger. That would be Malachi Drake in the 09 and in fourth, with Henry Kalhoff in the mix as well. And so pace car lights are out. We'll be ready to go. Unfortunate for the 41 to Chase Schaffer, his flopper racing teammates all the way back in the big teens and close and pushing to the 20s. So he'll have a lot of work to do on his lonesome by himself to try and get some of these, or at least stay at the front. That would be his goal. Here with no teammates, it's going to be pretty hard, but we've seen him claw his way back up to the front. So really, while it may be challenging, I don't think it'll be that hard of a challenge here for the 41. I will say it is pretty impressive to me that the 79 of Miller has been able to stay at the front. I know he was only here for about 2 laps or so before the caution had come out again, but impressive to come up through the field as far as the different strategy is concerned and avoid a lot of the shenanigans and a lot of the issues and such that would happen. So far, been a good charge for me. A good idea to try and move up to the front with strategy, because that has saved him from being in that wreck. All right, now pace car dives down pit road as we get ready for the 12th restart here in Atlanta. The number growing by the laps, but here as we get ready to go green again, Miller in the race lead over Chase Schaffer now, and 2x2 files back behind them. So the first 2 lead off together. 41 of Schaffer. The 79 gets a good run here, so a good chance that he will immediately sling it to the outside. And we've been talking over and over again about these aggressive moves by Chase. If he had had help down the back, I think he would have been able to complete that move. Hunsinger able to get right behind the 79 of Miller and able to push him just ahead of the run that Schaffer had gotten. But now it's a good double wide action here for the front and for the lead. The Ford drifting up. And just so close, about maybe a foot away from the wall, really. Cutting it close there as James and Moriarty try and cut their way through the pack. Unfortunately, the 96 of James is James Thurston finds himself a bit in the scrabble here, in the disconnected part of the pack. They're not really working that well together. Chase Schaffer assumes the race lead once again over Henry Kelhoff, Miller, and Malachi Drake. Riding on board with Vinny Tigner, as he's probably got one of the best seats in the house. It may not look like it, but he's just in the tail end of that draft range, about 7 to 8 tenths of a second. So he is about, yeah, he's biding his time, and he's got help behind him, so he can catch back up to the pack. But as we've seen so far, 2 big wrecks back to back. And so this is probably one of the best seats. I mean, leading is obviously the other best seat. If you could be ahead of everything, that'd be great. But he's got one of the best visions so far of everybody. I mean, he can see the whole pack. He has more than enough time to react and cut down. So quite good positioning there for Vinny Tigner to avoid a wreck at all costs. Had taken the lead away from Chase Schaffer, goes for a block, and the 41 is going to respond with a slice back underneath. And this may be a 3-wide battle for the race lead, and it falls back to single file. So Chase Schaffer able to retake the lead. It's now Mason Moriarty has been cutting up for the pack as well. Started in the 19th position in this on the restart, and has now moved up into 13th. And a couple more moves, and he'll find himself in the top 10. Overall, a great move and a great charge by Moriarty in the 67. However, it's going to get significantly more difficult because of how aggressive everyone is being so far here at the front, and just how tight everyone is together, all packed into a big group. We saw earlier in the race when everyone was being a little bit more relaxed, you could see that things are more spread out, things are a little bit more flowing and the more single file than they are now. This is pretty gridlock now. Everyone has taken tires, I believe, within the last 15 laps. People getting used to that loose handling now, it being a bit challenging. So, haven't seen too many issues so far this run. And as Schaffer maintains that lead on the inside lane, Kelhoff, the one who scored the leader from that time, crossing the start-finish line, is 5 laps led for Ashton Miller in the 79. Oh, the 90 gets tight, and he'll wash up to the third lane, and he will drop back. So I don't know if he saw something or a bit of handling issues, but he will slide back all the way to about the, let's see, about, oh wow, he's gonna drop like a rock. He's continuing to fall. And he will fall all the way out of the top 20. So that's unfortunate. I believe that was Malachi Drake that had that issue. That forced him to fall all the way back out of even being in contention of the lead so far. But the 79, Ashton Miller, leading that inside lane, cannot get the lead lap over Chase Schaffer, the 41 on that outside lane. He stays out in front. So far, it's been a fantastic race with all these guys racing hard and aggressive up front. You've seen a lot of moves get made. You've seen a lot of aggressive and these drivers. And even though it's led to accidents, it's led to quite a few cautions coming out, you kind of almost want to see that aggressive race style at a track like Atlanta. An intermediate super speedway, believe it or not. Repaved in the end of 21 into the 2022 season, and now has provided such good racing so far. As the Cup Series race went there 2 weeks ago in real life. Tyler Reddick, part of his three-peat to win the first 3 races of the season, has not been done in 70 years since 1949. That feat accomplished. So very impressive by Tyler Reddick and the 2311 racing team so far this season. But again, that Atlanta race was also something special. We got a lot of side-by-side racing action, and Tyler Reddick won without a right front fender, if you believe it or not. So this track, Atlanta, really known for now putting on great racing. It was known before for putting on a lot of great racing, but this style shows to be a different... Whoa! And gets loose to 79 off a bump of the double. Zero will come back up, hit the side of the 63 Henry Calhoff, but he will stay fine. We stay green. The 67 of Mason Moriarty being bold, trying to make a move around that third lane. James Thurston about 5 spots behind him. So really trying to make some aggressive moves here work. He'll have to get a push from someone. There we go. Cole J. Wilson to move up behind the 67 and out. That eventually, that was what is the third line, keeps kind of moving and changing in and out to be the second line, to be the third line, to be the outside line, the middle line. It all has shaken up quite a bit now. Moriarty up to 5th, so that outside lane clearly working. Is just within a few spots of Chase Schaffer, who now moves up to join him as those teammates start to get nose to tail once again. They're 5th and 6th right now on the outside, riding on board the 42 Christian. He's on the inside lane behind Cameron Chandler in the 8th, and has proven to be a good race so far for these guys. 41, Chase Schaffer elects to drop back with the 67 of Mason Moriarty. He had that good real estate, leading in the front 2 lanes, being able to control that pack, and he moves up to be connected with his Flopper Racing teammate. And so far, a good view from the back of James Thurston, 2 riding on board with Jamie McKinney. And the 80, oh no, trouble! And we've got a car spun around when you're looking at the onboard. Oh, and that'll collect Mason once again. Oh no, and that is another vicious accident. No bumper on the back of that 67 race car, and this is, I think, the 14th caution we've seen tonight, and it is, we aren't even in the last 20 laps yet, and these cautions are getting quite big. So the 54 slides up. Oh, Mason just got loose after the fact. Unbelievable. I don't think he was hit at all there. Oh no, and we've almost got a flip there. Wow, what a wreck. Okay, so here's a better view. We've got 3 rows of 3 wide action. We've got a bit of loose behavior, a bit of sliding there. And let's see, so 79 hits Mason, he gets loose. That's a second incident. James involved as well again. But I think oh my goodness, and we do have a flip in the back. It's the 88. He goes up and over. Man, we got to get a look at that. What a wreck. The Zilich car up and over. So he's riding along one of the members of that 3 wide, 3 row action there. So Chase may have led Mason to the wall, and that affected him there as well. So here comes Cole J. Wilson, shoves Thurston into the wall. And there goes the 88 along the outside, and then it pans up, and somehow, oh, and there it is, off the 67 and the 19, the 88 goes upside downside, flips over once, and lands back on the wheels. Matthew White had led 10 laps of this race, and is up and over in a... I don't think he's leading anymore tonight. And after that pretty vicious crash, I don't know if he has his fast repair left. So, man, oh man, what a caution there. Just wow. No fast repair. I'm getting word for the 88. So if he has engine damage, that seems to be his night is over there. And what a race we have seen so far. Hunsinger now, the one to assume the lead. Oh, there's a great graphic. We've got fast repairs used. So Mason, I believe the 67, he's not on the board. We don't know if he has his fast repair, but the 96 of James Thurston, he does. The 67 Machida Mason already has used his fast repair. I'm getting word. So he will have to repair that damage by himself, unless he has just taken it. So It'll depend on how long he is in pit road for. He's in. Yes, he has used it. As you can see, most of the field has used their fast repair. One driver of note who has not, Chase Schaffer, has not used his fast repair. One of only, I want to say, what, 4, 5, 6 drivers, 7, to have not used their fast repair this race so far. That is huge. If another wreck happens, and it's another huge wreck, that's going to mean a lot of people spend a lot of time down pit road and have damaged cars when they come back on the racetrack. Slightly damaged there, the front bumper there on both corners, the 96 and the sides as well. James Thurston, there we go, he takes his fast repair, so that is used. And, well, that will be the fast repair used for James. He'll get back out there, and there he goes. So James, now having used his fast repair, the only one of the 3 flop racing teammates on the track to have not is, again, Chase Schaffer. 3 of the top 4 have not used their fast repair. So, in case we do see another huge, basically pack-wide wreck, there are still a few people involved who are sitting pretty because of what they have still available to them to be able to use. And as I believe this is the 13th caution tonight, either 13th or 14th. It is getting hard to count.
Green.
But it has been quite the race here. It's race number 3 of the series season here in SNT at Atlanta Motor Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia. And it has been quite the race if you're just joining us. Quite a few number of wrecks, a large number of wrecks, big wrecks. We really got quite a bit of everything under the sun here tonight. Well, really, it'd be better to say under the lights, as it is a night race here in Atlanta, Georgia. Chase Schaffer falls to 4th after that. A big caution now as he will have to claw his way back up again. And it looks to be that the 67 of Mason Moriarty, I don't know if he's back on the racetrack. His night might be over. As we saw, he was involved in that absolutely vicious crash that just brought out this most recent caution. But I believe he may still be down pit road repairing what I would assume is to be a lot of mandatory damage. So his night may be over, which slims down the flop racing teammates to just 2. James Thurston and Chase Schaffer sits 4th, and James probably, I believe, in the 16th to 18th position range as they try and connect again. Pace car going to make its dive down pit road for the 15th restart tonight. Here with 38 laps to go, we are now green again here in Atlanta. So the restart on screen you're seeing now, and as we will cut to some of the action here in just a moment, it's Hunsinger with the lead over the 79, Chase Schaffer on that outside lane. And right now, we seem to have quite the shakeup as far as the leaders. Cole J. Wilson now in the mix as well. But it's still Hunsinger leading that inside lane now 3 wide. James able to move up through the field and get right behind the bumper. Chase Schaffer taps the wall, really trying to make that 3rd lane work. Oh, and that 4, who's had handling issues all night, I wouldn't want to be on the outside of him. As we get 3 wide now for about 4 rows back. This is tight racing here at Atlanta. I mean, you really can't get any better than this, as all of these guys are now hustling. It's the final few stages of the race, and we are close to close to crunch time here for a lot of these guys. And a lot of these guys also throwing caution to the wind. No fast repair means that you really don't have anything else to live for. If you can't push quite an aggressive strategy here. The only couple of guys, I believe Hunsinger has a fast repair, and so does Schaffer. And I believe the 79 Miller has one as well. So 3 of the top 6 have a fast repair, but the rest of the people behind them are all freeballing, having used them already in the one of multiple cautions we've had tonight. And this is going to be quite an interesting end to the race. 96 gets a little bit of contact there from the 4 as he drifts up a couple lanes, but he will still work with the 41, drops back down, leaves Chase kind of out to dry. Those are teammates, just leaving each other unless they plan to swap, which there isn't enough time. James Thurston slides back down to the bottom lane. I believe Chase has slotted into the second. Yes. Looking to be aggressive, looking for a gap and a way around that 4 car. Just nowhere really to go, as he doesn't want to get too aggressive. Wouldn't want to use that fast repair unless you absolutely have to, especially in this case that he has it. It's like gold at what he's sitting on. Some of these guys are going to wreck again, and they might have, not that much damage and whatever may have you. So some of these guys throwing caution to the wind. The 4 again just snaps loose. The 91 getting turned as he's going to stay loose. And I believe, wow, what a save. And we stay green, and the pack is broken up. Wow. Let's take a look at the replay of that from the 91 of how that eventually split up some of the pack. We'll see what happened here with the 91. Slides up. Oh, and then it looked like he got really close to the 22, and a lot of this side-by-side action. Does he just makes a little bit of contact, but he needs that contact. Oh, and he cuts across the nose of Henry Kalhoff. They all wiggle and slide, and everyone saves it, and we stay green. What a save there from the 91, and impeccable work by Henry Kalhoff in the 63. So he gets in there, thinks he's clear. Oh, crank the wheel, and wow, what a save. And Henry Kalhoff hits the brakes, slides in just behind, and avoids making that incident worse. So clearly, great reactions from many of the guys in this field. Hunsinger still in the lead over Chase Schaffer and the 79 of Ashton Miller as well. He has stayed up here ever since he had that strategy call. So I really do wonder if that strategy call is what has made his race so far. Hunsinger gets loose and is going to try and block that inside lane. Cannot get there in time. We'll side by side with Ashton Miller. Chase Schaffer there stuck a third row back, 3 wide. And he will be kind of on his lonesome out there. James Thurston not helping him at all, being stuck there at the bottom. Nowhere for him to move around and try and help the 41, so he'll have to do all that work over again, which we've seen him do countless times tonight. We're just in 30 laps to go here in Atlanta, and the laps are winding down. The fastest time now for Braden Hunsinger, a 34.24. And we've seen some of these guys be able to push each other so far and well, even with the previously stated handling issues. It's been such an incredible performance by some of these guys to be able to have made it this far and to have made it through this field a few times. My many praises to the 79 National. That was a great call there for pit strategy. We just have to hope he's able to stay up here if any other cautions come out. So all of what you're seeing on your screen is essentially the readily available pack. That's what you have left. So about, I want to say, the top 15 Anything below that is split way off into another pack all on its own. Chase Schaffer getting into the back of Cameron Chandler there, and that will break up that outside line a little bit. You see the 22 of Cole J. Wilson pushing the 00 of Braden Hunsinger, and Ashton Miller. Now, just again, such improvement that we saw over the course of this race so far. Oh, and Chase getting really aggressive. He's starting to peak 3 wide down that middle lane, and if he's able to split that middle lane, he'll be able to no doubt get a position over Cameron Chandler. It's just if Chandler knows and is willing to give that up, which no one really is. And so Chase will have to catch him sleeping, and we'll have to be able to slot in there in the middle. The best part is obviously the front stretch. It is the widest part of the racetrack. I think it's about 4 painted, but about 5 lanes of cars can fit on the front stretch, not even including how wide the apron is. So that'll be Chase's best opportunity to try and slide up the middle here to get on board with Connor D. James in the 4 car. And he's kind of had handling issues all night. He's been sliding around. He's slid up and tapped the wall a few times. So then again, so have a lot of other people this race, so he's not alone. But one of the biggest drawbacks, I think, tonight has been the handling, as Chase pops quickly out of line to get some temperature on his nose. The 4 behind him, letting him back in, clearly knowing that Chase is a good opponent to work with. He slides up now to the 3rd lane, and that inside, or well, now 2nd middle lane is going to slow down behind Cameron Chandler. He's going to lose a spot, and so is the 4 of Connor D. James. Chase Schaffer moves up another spot and is now going to be close to side-by-side with James Thurston. Now the 3 wide again with both Thurston and Cole J. Wilson. This is a bold move by the 41, and if it doesn't pay out, he's got plenty of room behind him to slot back into that 2nd lane, which he'll do now. Or maybe, I assume, unless that he's just getting temperature in the freest opportunity, which would be a wonderful and a very smart idea to get the temperature, because if Cole J. Wilson now slides up to the top, Schaffer can easily push him a great distance and try and go for the lead, but he's going to go for it by his lonesome anyway. Now James Thurston is behind him as well. So things shaking up here as the 2 teammates get back in line together. Braden Hunsinger now still in the lead of this one, and has been leading for about the last 9 laps or so, but he is getting split all over the racetrack. The 41 and 96 duo of Chase Schaffer and James Thurston proving to be a formidable duo. Oh, and the 8 is going to spin and cause a caution. And that he will get turned and spun around, and caution number 16, if I'm not mistaken, comes out. I believe he got just a little bit squirrely. Here's a better look. So the 79 gets loose a little bit first. Oh, and he tries to go up with the 99 of Kuntz. He gets tagged by the 99, and he will go sliding around. That gets him squirrely. 99 involved as well. 24 involved. Man, just a load of people involved in this as well. And this has been probably the majority of the cautions that we've seen tonight. You know, that they get a little bit squirrely. They get hit by some of the cars on track. They take a push, and it's just not. They're not able to hold on to it, and that's just how it goes. You know, and we've seen that countless times tonight, and again we see it with just about 20 laps to go. So again, the caution comes out, and the entire field is down pit road this time for what is to be the last pit stop of tonight's race. And again, Chase Schaffer, cleanest car in the field so far, and has not been forced to take fast repairs. When he will get out, he'll probably be... Oh, he's going to be 2nd. What a beautiful pit exit by Chase Schaffer to maintain his 2nd position. And Hunsinger losing a few spots in pit road and will drop down to 4th. Ahead of Ashton Miller, McKinney, Kalhoff, Rivera, Herklotz, and Tigner, your top 10. Lap 116 out of 134. Cole J. Wilson has led 2 laps tonight out of the 116. But most of those lap-led duties have to be given to, I'm assuming, Chase Schaffer as one of more of the most laps led tonight. He in a 96. Been trading the lead along with the 67, who I believe we now know is completely terminated. Here's a replay of the pit exit that we saw. Cole J. Wilson just sneaking ahead. And man, this is tight. This is about half car length between the 22 and the 41, and he's just barely able to sneak his way back into second, and James is able to move up to third. So good pit stops by most of these guys, and able to move around and move up. Pretty key stop right there. As it, I believe, should be the last of the stops we see here tonight. Pace car lights are out, meaning that we are just about 1 lap away from getting back green again. Chase Schaffer, Cole J. Wilson leading the race here at Atlanta. It's round 3 of the S&T Series season here at Atlanta, and so far proving to be a good championship fight. Chase Schaffer, the points leader. James Thurston, who is in third, is last week's winner at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So points leader and a winner just in the top 4 alone, proving to be quite a good sight. No wins for Chase Schaffer so far, but has been the most consistent out of anybody. He does have 2 stage wins to his name, which is 2 more than anybody so far, if the points is correct. So a lot of things to think about going in here to the final, about 15 laps or so, as we get ready to go green here again for the 16th time here at Atlanta. Cole J. Wilson takes the green flag. Cole getting pushed by the 96 of James Thurston there. A bit of a shove already into the corner immediately as Chase Schaffer getting to work. Cole J. Wilson goes up to block, and Chase is able to split the 22 3 wide. Unbelievable stuff from the 41, but I think that may cost him because of the help that James and the 00 had. So that is going to be quite costly there for the 41. If he had any help that went up with him, he could have easily surged past the 22, but now he'll have to find out how to do that from about 4 spots back. So James Thurston takes back the lead again here in Atlanta. First time in about 60 laps we've seen him leading at the front of this field. It's good to see that blue and silver M3 GTR-inspired Pacissum machine back at the front once again. He will be the leader as we cross the line. Yes, he will. Oh no, give it to Cole J. Wilson. He leads over a bumper. 15 laps to go here in Atlanta, and it continues to compile into being a more and more exciting race. As Chase now vying to stay in that second lane after the mistake he made at the beginning of the restart, slides ahead. The 84 of McKinney. Just behind the 00 of Braden Hunsinger and the 22 of our leader Cole J. Wilson, as things get a little bit swirly, a little bit pushy here for the leaders. The laps are winding down, and once we get within 5 to go, it's about, for most people, it's no turning back from there, and it's pedal to the metal all the way to the checkered flag. So just 10 laps away from what is the most aggressive stage of this race. Progressively gets more and more aggressive as the laps tick down, but with about 10-15 laps to go, we really start to see that aggression really start to pick up, and now we are starting to see that as well. Cole J. Wilson pops down to the bottom. Now Chase Schaffer as well, as he will push Hunsinger just ahead. No, by a bumper he stays behind. But good push there by Chase to try and make an effort to get the 00 ahead of the 22. He and James are looking for a way past to get back to the race lead. Right now, the 22 and the 00 filing away with each other here in the front, controlling both lanes and being a great duo here at the front. Chase unable to get behind the 96. James to begin to work with him here. I think this is the plan, and I think this is what they want. Because eventually when either the middle opens up or a lane at the top opens up, and here goes Chase Schaffer, an aggressive 3-wide move around the top. He tried this earlier off the restart. It didn't work out in his favor because he didn't have any help, and we could see a repeat of that again. Tries to make that 3-wide move, and he continues to fall back. His aggressiveness is what is trying to is really what's weighing him down here. He really needs to just wait for an opportunity to get lined up with James, get lined up with some help, because that is really the only way that you get to move around that third outside lane, as he's going to now fall back almost out of the top 10. So really bad move there by Chase in these last 10 laps. Oh, and Chase gets hit and gets slammed into the wall. The 17th car. Oh my God! Head on into the wall there. Jesus. And that'll be the 17th caution of the night. Chase Schaffer, well. He is glad that he saved that fast repair, because that is the most damaged that we have seen this 41 car all night. And I had mentioned that move there to go through right aggressive was a bad move, and this is kind of what I'm subtly referencing towards. This, you get in the middle of this pack with all these guys trying to be as aggressive as possible. Chase cuts down a little bit. The 91 starts to cut up. Chase is up, cuts down half a lane, goes back up, and gets tagged. Yeah, gets tagged again by the 91. Hit again and again, and has nowhere to go, as he is just stuck in the middle and narrowly missed there by the 8 of Cameron Chandler. But this, what we've seen so far, this is a pretty impactful wreck as far as who is involved so far tonight. And the first, I think, real crash Chase has been involved in. He's been spun and he's been tapped and he's been given scratches, but no, he's going to have to take his fast repair now after this wreck. And this probably involves about another 5-6 people. And the one car, horrible crash head on into the turn 2 wall. And that's about, I think, maybe 5-6 people. That's going to be another fast repair, another few fast repairs taken off the books. Again, the only 4 people left have not taken, or 5 that have not taken left their fast repair: Hunsinger, Miller, Kalhoff, Malachi Drake, and the 56 of Drucker have not taken their fast repairs just yet, with 8 laps to go. So this is getting to a part where we see aggression will continue to rise even more, but it is now that we see probably the aggression reach its peak. Usually with about 5 laps to go, which is, I believe, when we will go green, is the absolutely most aggressive part of this race. And it's when people kind of just, all bets are off, really, even as far as teammates go. Sometimes that is essentially thrown out of the window. So a lot of stuff to go down here in the last few laps or so. So we get ready. Pace car gonna cross the line. I believe we will be going green this next time by. So Yes. As we cross the line, it's 7 to go. We'll be going green with 6 laps to go. So I was just about lap off. And while we get ready to go green, we're probably gonna have a couple cautions. But first time in about 60 laps, another update here. Another update here for the SEC basketball update for college basketball in Oklahoma versus Texas, and Auburn versus Alabama. Alabama leads Auburn by 19 points, and Texas leads Oklahoma by 4. Both are at halftime. Texas-Oklahoma is on the SEC network, and Auburn versus number 16th ranked Alabama is on ESPN Maine. And so right now, Alabama third in conference, just behind Arkansas, as they are 13-5 in conference play. So if I believe if Auburn could upset Alabama, that would be pretty huge for March seeding. And the game against Oklahoma and Texas really doesn't matter because they both kind of suck. Both are at the bottom end of their conference. So as the pace car dives down pit road, we get ready for the 19th restart of tonight, and Cole J. Wilson is off in a flash. It was just 7, now 6 laps to go here in Atlanta now, as he gets to kind of an open lead. The 79 immediately getting back to the 96 and pushing him. Schaffer already up to 11th now. A quick restart from him and positions gained. This field, the most spread out it's been since that lap 40 restart. We talked about how spread up that pack was going to be. This is about how we've seen it so far again. And so now Chase having a lot of work to do in these last 5 laps. If we don't have another huge caution, people are now starting to get below the apron, making more and more aggressive moves. Chase up to 9th, making up a couple more spots. And now the race is getting to its boiling point. Oh, and Vinny Tigger gets turned by the 41 of Chase Schaffer, and that will bring out another caution. Oh boy. So I said that the 41 had to be aggressive, and well, that's about as aggressive as you can get. Let's take another look. 41 of Chase Schaffer plays it up the middle and just tags the left rear of Tigner and gets another car involved as well, and no damage on the 41 of Schaffer. Here, let's take a better look. Yeah, he just kind of cut it a little bit close. He drifted up a little bit as the 12 of Tigner kind of was coming back down to assume the spot of the second lane, to which he thought no one was there. So, I don't know, a bit of an aggressive move on, yeah, kind of came together. It looks like Chase came up a little bit more than Tigner came down, but it's just, like I said, this is the most aggressive part of the race. You don't get any less aggressive from this point here on, and this is what that produces. So another caution, presumably one of the last ones tonight. So we will go to green-white checkered overtime. So this will be our first overtime of the night, and it will be led by Cole J. Wilson and Braden Huntsinger, with Ashton Miller and James Thurston, your top 4. And then it's McKinney, Kalhoff, Herklotz, and Schaffer, although pending to see if Schaffer gets moved back because of that incident with the 12 of Tigner. I don't think he will. I think he'll be able to keep his spot. They'll probably deem that a racing incident. But a lot of what we have been seeing is just more and more aggressiveness, and it leads to more issues. It leads to more cautions. It leads to more wrecks, and that's about as pretty much spot on as you can get really aggressive nature going in with about 5 laps to go at the peak of its aggressiveness, and well, that's what comes out of it. You get situations like that where it's just aggressive on both parties. You know, Tigner trying to cut down and get in that second lane and get back up, and Chase trying to make some moves, and he gets into contact with the 12 of Tigner. So, you know, it's just what happens late in the race. Now, if it was worse, it's probably still not excusable by the fact that it's late in the race, but still, we have seen worse this race. We have seen worse incidents over the course of the season so far, and that is probably not one of the worst ones. Even tonight, I'd have to say I'd kind of put that squarely on a little bit of both of them. Really, maybe 60-40, 60 Chase, but I don't know. That's close. Yeah, that's pretty close. Well, our first green-white checkered attempt, out of, I believe, 3. I believe this league does 3, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see after this overtime what all happens, but after the green flag drops, this is going to be pretty huge. This is going to be a very, very, very close battle. This is going to be a very close race. A lot of aggressiveness. We're probably going to see 3 wide just after the restart, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got another caution almost immediately, but we'll see what happens. This is going to be, I believe, maybe our 20th restart of tonight. I may be a few off, but really, am I off by any? The pace car going to make its dive down pit road. This field is led by Cole J. Wilson and Braden Hunsinger, with Ashton Miller and James Thurston in tow directly behind them to push. And Cole J. Wilson is off again for restart number 20 here tonight from Atlanta. Cole J. Wilson off with a good start. Nice helicopter shot of the field we have here. Get a good look at everybody that we see at the progressions over the field. And Chase alone on that outside lane so far, a good spot for him to be in as people slide down to the bottom. He'll try and get connected with James Thurston as quickly as he can, and already proving to get right up on there. Right to the back bumper. Oh, and another wreck behind. And will that be another caution? No, we stay green. This is the final lap. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's Braden Hunsinger and Cole J. Wilson leading with James Thurston behind. James gets to the back end of the 00 with Henry Kalhoff behind them. Chase Schaffer behind Henry Kalhoff. This is a 4-wide action-packed battle as James goes to the outside of the 00. Schaffer pushes the 63. We could see some blocking here, bit of contact, and it's going to be Cole J. Wilson in the 22 who takes the victory. A nearly 5-wide finish. An unbelievable way to end an unbelievable race. Cole J. Wilson takes the win here in Atlanta. Wow. And what an unbelievable way to end this race. Just 20 of 136 laps led in total, and he comes out with the race win. And he gets to burn it down in front of a packed house here in Atlanta, Georgia. The 22, Cole J. Wilson, brings it home here in Atlanta. Let's get a replay of that incredible finish that saw Cole J. Wilson command and stay at the front. His lead with the 79 right behind him, giving a push all the way. James Thurston tries to make an aggressive move to the outside. Henry Kalhoff just doesn't seem to work. We've seen that third lane just not work. And here it is, right to the battle to the line. And man, this was close. I mean, if I had to say, this is probably a bumper. This may be, oh, look at how close that is. Yeah, that's a quarter of a car length at max between Cole J. Wilson and Braden Hunsinger. And man, what a finish. That is probably within a tenth of a second of a finish. I think that might be pushing close to half a tenth, really, of a second of the finish that we've seen here. And what an incredible win by Cole J. Wilson. Let's take a look at your final standings here from Atlanta as we get them on the screen. Cole J. Wilson is the winner over Braden Hunsinger and Henry Kalhoff, your top three. A finish of just 22 hundredths of a second over the double zero. Impressive win for Cole J. Wilson. Then it's JB McKinney, Ashton Miller, and Chase Schaffer, who faced a number of hardships and times getting set back to the back, and eventually had to take his fast repair within the last 9 laps. He finds himself in the 6th position, just ahead of his Flopper Racing teammate, the 96 of James Thurston. Then it's Jack Drucker with Christian Herkelotz and Malachi Drake to round out your top 10. So, and pretty impressive performance by these guys. It's Matthew Rivera in 11th and Michael Deitch in 12th. CJ Erdman and Kenneth Gorel in 14th. It's Brandon Combs and Tyler Sievert with just ahead of Vinny Tigner in 17th. Rick Spencer Walt, Greg Hulls, and John Meeks to round out the top 20. And the last lead lap finisher is Jair Laplante in 21st, 17 seconds behind. And all the lap cars, 8 laps behind, is Jordan Kuntz, then Cameron Chandler, Bradley Robinson, Paul Bogensberger Jr. Wow, what a name. Over Roger Sievert, Connor D. James, Mason Moriarty, Connor Isabel, and Matthew White, all not finishing the race. And another list of non-finishers: Jamie Lockwood, Jacob Clarino, Chris Tripp, Matthew Weeks, Asa Pierce, Rohan Koch, and Asher Bunkley, with Carter Casey rounding out the field in 38th. A large field tonight here at Atlanta rounds up into a large amount of people not coming to the finish with the cautions that we have had over the course of this race. We'll get a final estimate here soon as to how many cautions that we had, but unbelievable race that we see. 12 cautions. So my number was a bit high. But man, so that means we had 13 restarts, I think, including overtime as well. So just unbelievable race here tonight. And we'll go ahead and start getting into driver interviews here as we'll drag in our race winner. Cole, you come home with the win here at Atlanta after a chaotic 12 caution race. How did you do it?
Oh, I don't know. Just kept I was involved in a wreck, had to use my fast spray, but besides that, just kept my nose clean. Avoided a wreck, so I was able to stay up front and control the lines well. And then at the end there, through the late race cautions, I have to thank teammate Ashton Miller for sticking behind me and pushing me all the way to the checkered flag.
Yeah, teamwork started to become much more apparent here in the later stages of the race, even as we usually see teammates get kind of thrown out of the window sometimes at the end of super speedway races. But towards the end of the race, we started seeing what looked to be more normal super speedway crashes. But over the course of the night, we saw a reoccurring theme that handling was an issue. What was your feeling of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. With the old tires, the right rear would really wear out and get super loose, so had to back up the corner a lot more and had to take the runs when you had them to make sure because of how important track position was. So it was interesting to see how the handling played out at super speedway, and I think that's one thing I did well that race, making sure I wasn't too loose and was not like stalling out the line and able to push well.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the key things. Now we saw again, time and time, that it was possible to get that third lane working, but it seemed just towards the end that if anyone went up there, it was a sentence to get sent to the back. Why do you think that was?
Oh yeah, just with especially in the travel, how tight it gets. I think once you get up there, it was such a high chance that you would get put in the wall because of the car in the middle with the two cars on the inside outside getting loose. You would just get pushed into it. So that's why the third lane probably didn't work. So when the last like 10 laps, I was just able to hold the bottom with Action pushing me. So that's how it ended.
Well, congratulations on the win in the third race of the season so far. And is there anything else you'd like to say, or anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my Team Chevy Motor Club and all my teammates. I'd like to shout out FTN Broadcasting, no matter who it is commentating. It's always a great production. And then just the S&T League. I mean, this is my third season, and finally getting the first win. It's a relief off the shoulders.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations once again on your win. And thank you so much for taking time to speak with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that was your race winner, Cole J. Wilson, who bring in second place. Braden Hunsinger, man, that was close. I mean, that is probably one of the closer finishes I've ever broadcasted, really. Walk us through what it was like that final lap and coming to the line.
James Thurston, before the start or the restart, he PM'd me and said shake and bake. So I know he's going to be working with me for those final 2 laps. And unfortunately, on the final lap in turn 3, just kind of pushed wide and just killed all my momentum going to the start finish line. I couldn't really hang with Cole there coming to the line. I got a push from Kaloff, which helped boost me back toward him a little bit, but it just wasn't enough. So it's just really unfortunate. I have come close to a lot of wins in this league, and it's just pretty frustrating that I couldn't win this one, because I feel like I was one of the best cars towards the end, and it's just really unfortunate.
I agree with that. You really were one of the guys to stay up by the front at the end. Really, you stayed in the lead those last about 40 laps or so, I want to say, those last 40, 30 laps, when you got up to the front, and you were able to stay ahead of the rest of the pack. And one thing I've been asking sort of all the drivers, because it was such a point of contention tonight, what were your thoughts on the handling as the race progressed? We saw early on a lot of those cautions. I think from cautions like from the first one all the way to the 6th one, were more handling related cautions. People just sliding up and getting into each other, or sliding up and hitting the wall. What were your thoughts over the thoughts of the handling towards the end of the race?
You definitely had to manage your tires throughout the race. I mean, it just built really loose on the long run, and it would affect your handling a ton. I mean, and that you could see it in the quad oval, you would just get really loose entering that and in the corners and just mid corner. So I think it was just like really important to manage your stuff and making sure you're keeping that car as straight as possible. And I liked it a lot personally. I think it was a challenge, especially since you're all like in a pack, and it's just like really tough to do that in a pack with everyone trying to get to the front. You got some managing their tires and being smart, and it was just a really fun race to do, besides the cautions. But if we get a couple more green flag runs there, I think it would have been like a really good race.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see a little bit more green flag action, but sometimes that's just not how the cookie crumbles. There is usually a bit of difficulty navigating so many cautions and being able to stay at the front. How were you able to, even in the mix of all the crashing, the wrecking and such, how were you able to stay at the front?
I just gotta thank guys like Cole and Ashton. I mean, they're my friends. I was lucky to have them in the front with me and just stay with me and work together. So I I just gotta thank them for helping me stay there, and just helping me lead all those laps, because that's probably one of the most laps I led in a race in this league. So just got to shout out to my teammates and all of them, just being great.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on second place. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or anyone else you'd like to thank?
Not really. Shout out to Cameron Chandler though, man. He's the GOAT. I'll tell you that. He is the GOAT.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations once again on your second place finish here at Atlanta, and hope all goes good for you for the rest of the season. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. And let's get on to the final interviewee, Henry Kalhoff. It's good to see you here in the booth. Third place here from Atlanta, and talk us through how you did it.
Man, I am ecstatic. I mean, to get third place here, especially for all the chaos. I mean, man, I really enjoyed racing tonight. It was super fun. Kind of, it's been a while since I've raced at this track, so yeah, everybody was just kind of slipping and sliding around, but it was like the loosest, fastest race in my opinion. So, but we had a great race. We were up front early on, and I think I can't remember what lap. I think it was lap 40. We were in second, and then actually jumped the restart because I'm an idiot. So I had to do a drive-through, and as soon as we went a lap down, got the free pass, and then kind of fought our way back up. I think it was shortly afterwards we had a Days of Thunder moment. I was like, holy shit, that was really cool there. So, but we just fought our way forward, played the right strategy, worked with some guys, and awesome to get P3 though. Really happy about that. It was chaotic there, but just put my foot to the floor, and I wasn't going to lift till I saw God or checkered flag. So, I mean, overall, really good race for us. Really good race for our team. It's our first podium for our team in a year. So, really awesome result though. I'm super ecstatic right now.
Again, congratulations on what was an awesome performance there in the last half of the race. But in these last about 30 laps or so is when the chaos really started to increase. We saw a couple of huge wrecks. What was it like managing going through some of that chaos there at the end and being able to stay at the front?
I think it's more so just going with your instincts. I mean, at the on restarts, I was just kind of, second guessing as to, man, should I be on the outside or should I be on the inside? It was just more so whatever lane had the most momentum. And I saw a lot of guys, they would go, into the second or third lane, and then middle of the corner car would bottom out and just get sideways. It happened a couple times. And I think the 91 car got sideways in front of me there. So, and the handling was such a huge factor. I mean, obviously it's Atlanta. It's not like Daytona or Talladega where you can hold wide open the whole time, but, I think it's just more so trusting guys, and a lot of these guys like Thurston and Schaefer have been racing for 3 years now, so I kind of trust them more. No offense to the other drivers, but I kind of have a race, and I was kind of at one point early on, I was just going to kind of follow what they were going to do. So, but I mean, overall, really great result there. On that last set of corners, I mean, Thurston kind of went up, and I hate to take it from him, but I mean, the opportunity presented itself, and it was kind of like Moses parting the Red Sea, if you will. So, but man, that was such an awesome race, and then, man, I can't believe it.
Well, once again, congratulations. But I wanted to ask this question. I've been meaning to ask this for a couple of the interviews, but how important was engine temperature over the course? I know this package is pretty temperature sensitive for the course of the run, or at least for what I remember. So how important was getting that clean air when you could?
I think compared to the other SuperSpeedways, it was a lot easier because it was very hard for someone to hold the line. When I was the second car on the outside or inside, the guy in front of me will always kind of bob and weave a little bit. So kind of the strategy is just trying to get at least half a car length down from where they're at so you can get that clean air. And so it was a lot easier to do. There were a couple times where I kind of backed off a little bit because I saw the temps were kind of spiking up and all. So that's just something I've kind of bitched, complained about before at the SuperSpeedway. So, but yeah, I would say a lot of people kind of didn't have that sort of issue of having their temps go too high, just because, I mean, as you guys saw, I mean, let's say the leader on the outside, they would enter the corner, they would kind of move up half a car length or so, just, I mean, because of the handling. So I think it was a lot easier for guys to manage their temps. So.
Well, once again, congratulations on your team's first podium in a year, and congratulations on an amazing third place. This would, I'm sure, do you wonders in the point standings, for it being quite a close margin right now. But thank you so much for having the time to speak with us. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank John Garrett at FORL Screen Printing. He's been a huge partner for our team the last couple years, and he's going to be sponsoring us for every race. So, got to thank him first and foremost, and also my parents, my family for supporting me along with our team. You know, we're getting better every week, and you know, to get this podium is really special for us. You know, we've been feeling a lot of cars, just kind of a lot of struggles the last few years, so we've been getting better though, and I think this podium is going to step us into the right direction for, you know, the upcoming races. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I got to thank the whole team as well and all of our sponsors. So a lot of people to thank. I can't thank them all, but you know, such a great result. I'm really blessed to get this third place result, and we'll see how these next several races go for us.
Well, again, congratulations on your podium. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, and hopefully the rest of the season goes your way.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for broadcasting. So I'll have to watch it later.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, what a race it's been here from the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's been an incredible time here up in the booth. I can't wait to check out next week's race at the all-illustrious Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. It is going to be pretty incredible. Join us March 14th from coverage of 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Great Chicagoland Motor Speedway. Sure to be an impressive and fantastic race. Bumpy track, old conditions. Tire wear is going to be in the mix as well. Sunset race. It's an absolute beauty to see on the screen. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, FTN viewers, and note any of the links in the description to learn more about how to either join the FTN crew or to learn more about iRacing and joining the leagues that we see or that you see on the screen and are able to broadcast. Again, I have been Alexander Balderas, your commentator, and our broadcast producer in the booth is Julian Altena. So thank you so much for joining us here from the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway, and from the University of Houston campus, I say good night and goodbye. Thank you so much for watching another FTN broadcast, and we will see you all next week. Good night, and thank you again so very much.